Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm on the wrong camera. There we are. It's so good to have you back at another live stream. This is the final paint party live stream of the year. I hope you had a great holiday week and that your year of 2022 is winding up nicely and quickly. It is warming up here in the mountains. We were at about 40 degrees Fahrenheit today, so the snow is starting to melt here on top of the mountain. And everything is great. I hear that the ski slopes outside town are great, so I hope your year is winding up as well. Those of you who are regulars will know that this live stream is really laid back. It is like an open house. You just pop in and pop out and stay as long as you'd like. You can communicate or interact with the live stream and with me on whichever platform you're watching us. You can type in the comments there. I will usually see those pop up on my screen, and I do love to engage with you with questions or comments as we go through the live stream. This live stream is kind of my learn to paint journey. A couple of years ago, I started teaching myself to paint, and I am really proactively developing my skills, so that's what this live stream is all about. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Let's jump right into it this evening. All right, it is great to see. Hey, Lola, so good to see you. Richie, hey, Merry Christmas. I hope you had a great one, both of you, and I hope that life is treating you well. All right, let's jump in. And while I am getting set up, I will kind of lay out some of the things that I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. I am focusing over the next, going into 2023, on really additionally building out and developing the fundamentals of my painting skills now. Things like composition, lines and drawing, value balance and value, value ratios, as well as perspective, things like that, color theory, some of the foundational elements of drawing and specifically visual arts. As I'm doing that, this week I was thinking about my art process and what I'm learning. And one of the things that I realized that is, I think, fundamental to what makes me successful, first I noticed it in my career, but also I think will, as an artist, make me successful in finding my own unique artistic perspective, is finding a way to bring in this element that I'm about to talk to you about into my art. So a few years ago, I noticed, particularly, like I said, in my career, that my value, or the value that I'm able to bring in my career, is really bringing in disparate things that seem to be disconnected or unconnected, and bringing them together in a way that is homogeneous and that helps create something that is unique or create a value proposition that is unique. And I have found that is something that I tend to do well and do naturally. And so it kind of has just flowed into my career in helping me to become successful in my career. So when I think about that in my art, one of the things that I want to explore over the next year especially is looking for and really exploring bringing different things together. This could be different mediums, this could be different colors, this could be different influences, this could be different methods. And so I'm going to be looking for that as I go through the next year, really intentionally, and especially looking at the art that I respond to kind of viscerally in the art that other people create, and seeing what is it that they're bringing together to make unique art. In doing that, I wanted to jump right in this week, and one of the easiest things I think for me to explore with this kind of just getting my feet wet, really just jumping in, is color. So tonight we're going to do an experiment. I am going to switch over to the other camera here, but I want to show you this real quickly. It has the same layout as I have with the graph for composition. So we're going to continue to explore composition. And as I add the reference photo, this is what we're going to be painting tonight. So this will be a still life of this bowl with fruit and the reflection of it. The reason that I have the black and white image next to it is because I wanted an image of this reference that was pretty monochromatic, that did not bring in the color, because the colors are so vibrant and precise in the original that I really want to force myself and force my brain and my eyes to look at this differently. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to throw all of the colors you see on the screen out. So all of the colors that you see in the reference photo, we're going to throw those out, and we're going to try a new, totally different color palette that has nothing to do with the colors of the elements there. So let's see how that works for us. I don't know how it's going to work, so we'll see. All right, I'm going to bring you over to this camera here so that I can set this up, and I am kind of up in the air. Sorry about that. This camera fell off my desk a little bit. All right, that will make it a little easier. Let me put this over here so that you have my palette. Okay, as I get this set up, we will explore this a little bit, but let me show you real quick what I have set up here on the side. So you can see here on my desk, I'm going to come back to this right here. I have set up some paints. So I have green and purple, which are complementary, or green and magenta. And then I have blues, which start with a turquoise, light blue, and a dark blue. I have yellow, orange, orange, and an orange red. So I have basically elemental palettes. And what this is going to allow me to do is I am going to then look at the reference and try to use those colors in the core elements of this painting. I don't know what this experiment will turn out to be or how it will turn out. It is completely an experiment, but worst case is we paint over the canvas again and it's just fine. So that's kind of what we're going to explore tonight, is what happens when we put these colors, and really it's just an exercise for me to force my brain to look at something and kind of divorce it completely from the colors I see in front of me. So I hope that's interesting for you, and we will see actually how this plays out. I don't know how it's going to play out, and we'll kind of just adjust as we go and see what happens. But I really want to explore, because I do believe there are two elements of art and my art development that are really important. And number one is capacity, the actual skill that I develop. I think it's really important to develop skill. As a creative, it's really easy to kind of have shiny object syndrome and jump from one thing to the next. But I think it's really important to learn the skill of art, the skill of painting. That's the actual doing the thing. That is the perspective. That is the drawing. That is the values. That is the color. The other component that I think is as important or just as important and keeps the building of the skill fun is the creativity process. I think that's why I have kept with this almost a year and a half now, is that I have done this every week and I never truly know what's going to happen each week. And you'll remember last week we did something kind of totally different. I had never done horses and it actually turned out really fun, and it turned out one of my best paintings. So sometimes this really works out, sometimes it doesn't, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. Part of the creativity process is what keeps it interesting to me. And while I'm doing that, I'm also developing additional skill. So those are the two components I'm looking at as I go forward. And yeah, so let's jump in. I've talked a lot as we have started this evening. So good to see all of you that are joining us late. Let me switch back to my canvas here and let's start making some marks. I am going to do like I did last week, and I'm going to use a large paintbrush. This is probably a 1-inch paintbrush, and we are going to start making some marks. All right, what I have laid out is the, I'm actually flipping this because the pears are such bright yellows. I'm actually going to use the cooler colors for the pears. So that is going to be my turquoise, my cerulean, and my phthalo blue. So these primary, I don't want to say primary colors, primarily these three colors are going to be what we're going to use for the pears. So let's start putting some marks on the page, and we'll use our graph as a guideline for this. So let me put some turquoise, cerulean, and phthalo blue. And this is going to be our pears. And what I'm looking for, I'm looking at the left-hand side. So the left side of your reference photo. I am looking at the values. So I'm looking for the darkest spots. So when I look at the pears, the darkest spots are here, right under this pear. So I'm just going to put kind of some dark there, and then we'll mix the cerulean with that, and we'll come in and just start putting this as we come up, and I'm just drawing shapes. Now there is a little bit over here of reflected light on this side, so we'll put a little bit of that, and we see it really bright down here, so I'm bringing the turquoise in. And turquoise there, and turquoise there, and turquoise here. Okay, and I'm just trying to draw what I see as lights and darks. So very quickly, all of a sudden, we see some of this start to come in. And now, what makes this really nice, oops, I forgot again to draw my line here on my paint, my graph. I didn't draw those lines. So we will put, let's guesstimate where this is. We'll kind of put it there. And our most shiny spots are there. And here we want to do there, there, there. Notice I'm using big brush strokes that are not very detailed, right? And we want to come in a little bit here. So we'll do that. Then I am looking primarily at my, again, the left-hand side of my, I'm trying just to be I'm just looking at lights and shadows. And then we have a little bit of this there that comes in. And then we want to kind of Welcome, welcome to those of you that are joining late. Just a refresher, if you just popped in, we are flipping color palettes for this painting. We're doing something that's not the colors you see there in front of you. We're focused mostly on the values, and so yeah, sorry, I just realized I painted this off. This needs to be up here. So I am adjusting that a little bit. We'll have to adjust this. We'll do that, but now we have this. And again, I am looking primarily at my we'll adjust this. I'm looking at my, on purpose, I'm avoiding looking at my right-hand side colors because I don't want that to impact how I lay down these values. So I'm looking at mostly the black and white photo. Again, remember, you can participate in the conversation there on the right-hand side of your, or not the right-hand side, on the comments wherever you're watching. So feel free to do that. Okay, got to do a little bit more this. Okay. We'll let this dry a little bit. I think we're pretty good here. We'll go in and refine those as we go, because it's so wet that it's not allowing me to lay down the shapes correctly, but that's all right. You start to see what's happening. All right. Now we've done our blues. Let me set those to the side a little bit. If I have enough space here, I need to create some space, get some stuff off some of my normal colors that I work with are down here on the, we'll put them over to the side. Now we have the fruit, which this will actually be a little bit like what's there. So I'm going to use the yellows, orange, and red for the oranges. So it still is kind of the color that's there, but it's complementary to blue, and it will be much more neon and stark. And then we're going to use the purple green for the purple and green kind of neon. Actually, I wonder, you know what? Purple, pink, green. Look at that. Really neon. Let's do that. For the glass vase. So I am going to come in. We're going to have this magenta, the green, and the pink. Oh, that's magenta. I did magenta twice. Well, we have magenta twice. I don't know if y'all can see that there on. So we'll do the neon green. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do with this, and we'll see if it works. Again, this is an experiment. But we are going to stop. I'm going to step back, and we are going to take a photo reference, or a in progress photo. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to use the magenta. Oh, these are magenta as the darkest color. So where we see the darkest, look at the left-hand side, or the black and white, where we see the darkest parts of the magenta or of the image. We're going to use magenta, and maybe a little bit. I wonder if we should use some phthalo blue, because that will give, or not phthalo blue, but ultramarine blue. That will give us the darker purple color than the magenta, because the magenta is so translucent. I do think I want to, yeah, I want to darken it. So we'll have a real purple color here. So let's take that up here, and we'll start putting our darkest spots. So I see the darkest place here at the base of this, and kind of right here. We'll take really blue, and we'll put in the darkest shadow spaces. Then again, I'm just looking for shapes. Of shadows. And down here is a shadow, here is a shadow, here is a shadow. Because this is glass, it kind of has weird shadow spots. So we'll do that and see what that does for us. Notice how many, as I'm pointing this out, notice how many of these spots are on the intersections of different lines. So, and that's the reason this composition works, is because we have so many of these things on these compositional points for our graph, or not graph, but our, what's it called? I can't think of the word. Why can't I think of anything but graph? I guess it's because I'm getting old. Getting old, y'all, getting old. What is the word I'm thinking of? Grid. Thank you, whoever was sending me good mental juju. Grid. That's the word I'm looking for. Again, I'm looking for the shadows of we'll see. Again, I'm looking at black and white and looking at where these things nope. I'm adjusting constantly. And it really is a retraining of the mind to look at only the shadows and lights. Okay, now we've done the purple. Let's go in. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it? Now let's go in with the purple, and I want to make the, I'm trying to think. We have the purple. I think I want the pink to be the lightest spots. So pink is going to come in here and just do where the light shines. And it's going to give us the feeling of shape. So we're going to take the pink. We're going to try to put in the highlight spots. I may have to let it dry some more because the other thing this forces me to do is to not be very precious with the detail, because, you know, not able to. This is definitely a fun exercise, though, at least for me, because it's like, I don't know if this is going to work. And everybody's quiet today. Welcome. I see a few more people popping in. So glad to have you. This may look really weird, but I explained at the beginning what I'm trying to do here is play a game with values and forcing myself to bring in strange color combinations to combine colors that are not accurate to the reference photo and paint this with a different palette than is, quote, natural or real, specifically so that it forces me to look at this differently than I would otherwise. Okay. That pink is really tacky. So, tacky meaning very dry and doesn't spread well. So I'm going to have to probably let some of this dry a little bit, then come back, which is fine because it's a highlight. But we'll let this dry. We'll just kind of give it a little bit of a I think the green we're actually going to bring in and do, we'll see, this might totally mess it up, but I think I want the green as kind of the mid-tone. So we'll see. You can see the bowl in its shadow already. I'm interested to see how it turns out with your planets. It feels like kind of a nebula right now. Yes, it does, because it's so, we're so used to looking at things through the prism of our color, that when we mess with the color, our brain doesn't know what to do. It's like, what are you doing? So I may totally mess this up, but we'll see. May also do something really cool. Okay. We'll see how that goes. It's definitely bizarre because the blue and the purple and the green, like the green definitely clashes. So I'm going to have to tone the green down a little bit, but it's very translucent as well, as you can see. So that is good. I'm going to put these over here, magenta, pink, and green. And I can always phase the green out. Now I'm going to go to my yellow, orange, and red, and we're going to see if we can do these oranges that are in the bowl. So what I want to do is put the red on there. That's going to be my darkest tone. The mid-tones will be the oranges, the neon orange, and the cad yellow, which is this yellow. And then we're going to have the light lemon yellow, which will be just a little bit of highlight. So let's see how this goes. So, whoops, I need to, there you go. Now you can see, oops, a little bit. You can see the red here, orange, that's neon orange, cad yellow, and lemon yellow. So let's go in with our red and see. It may be too much, but we'll see. And let's look at, again, looking at my black and white photo, I'm looking where my darkest shadows are in my oranges, in the orange, that is this one right there. And then we have a little bit inside the, so we have kind of a, that shows through, but okay, now our orange is, if we look at the mid-tone over here, it's definitely up here. Then the orange down here. Again, just doing different just spots. Then the brightest spots are not there. They are right there, kind of this area. Down here, I think what we want to do is I want to pick kind of the combination of the midtones, so this orangish red, that's what I want to bring down here because it barely reflects, except there's some reflection, there's a little reflection there, kind of in bands. You don't really see much reflection, just the color, just a little bit. Then I think I need to do more of this orange right in there. There we go, little by little. I think I'm over painting that, but definitely an interesting combination. I love the blue. This I'm not sure about. This I'm not sure about. Just because, yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. But I think what I'm going to do is take a minute and do a think I want a... The problem is when you get too many colors, it's like what's going to clash with what isn't going to work. I want to keep a very neutral, I think, neutral brown, or maybe almost a gray for the background. So let's put some in, and we can always change it. Not sure, but we'll see if it needs to be more or different colors. But I kind of just want to put something on. And we're going to not cover up these grid lines too much yet. But I just kind of want to put some background in just to see how the values behave once we kind of get some background in. But I still want the grid lines sort of visible so that we can see what's actually happening, because our eyes definitely will deceive us. Okay, let's see. Where's the blue? There it is. We'll see what we can salvage from this. Remember when those of you that have watched most of the live streams, remember when I played like this? I did, well, the only one I've done successfully that I really liked was a couple years ago when I did the broken piano keyboard with the green keys and the green and purple keys. This is a similar exercise. But I really want to, I've been thinking a lot because I'm planning to, I think I'm going to start making regular YouTube videos again. I was doing vlog style videos, but I just couldn't keep that up because mostly my life isn't that interesting. And so it really didn't work out. But I'm thinking about doing more thoughtful, semi-scripted videos in the next year about my art process and the things I'm learning or the things I've learned, because I think that could be beneficial not only to my audience, but to me in the future to look back and see, okay, this is what I was thinking. This is why I did this when I did that. But if you all have ideas of ways I can, like I said at the beginning of this exercise or this painting, I wanted to explore how I can bring together disparate things in my art whether it's mediums, colors, methods. But if you have ideas, if there's a specific style of painting that you like or that you see that's interesting and you think it would be neat applied to maybe a different subject or a different way of applying it, feel free to let me know, because I would like to explore, like what could happen if you do something really bizarre like blue pears and purple glassware and red oranges. I guess we do have red oranges, but it's a different kind of style. What can happen if you take different things and make them into something new? Feels like it's drier this week on my palette and on my canvas than it has been. The air feels drier, but who knows? All right, we got at least got some color on this. We'll keep going and see what happens. All right. Let's go back in and let's redefine some of these some of this. I do think I need kind of do need to put in very light but nondescript kind of. We'll see how nondescript it ends up being, but I do need to put the line in the back to give us some sense that this is on a reflective table. We'll just kind of put that in there and see if we can play with that a little bit. Okay. There, that gives us the feeling that, oh, this isn't just floating out in the ether, or like Richie said, it's not just floating out in the outer space somewhere. Okay, so let's go back to our black and white. Let's look at our shadows and re-establish our shadows. This is our, oh, I don't want to take that color. Took the wrong blue. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, we want to take this blue, this beautiful blue, and let's put in our shadows again where we see them. So this line that comes across here, let's see. We need to put then I think we take the these are all just subjective, kind of subjective choices I'm making about kind of the reflective light on this side of the pear. Now, going to the teal blue, let's see if we can do some shaping. Let me look at the right side again. I'm just looking at my lights and shadows, or the left side, I mean. We want to I'll have to come back and really highlight that because it's the brightest part of when I look at the that messed that up. Oh, it's still wet. Good. Because that should just be reflected light. Oh, isn't that cool effect? Just by smearing it a little bit. Welcome, welcome. I see a few more people have popped in, so glad to have you. Feel free to ask questions or engage in the comments where you are watching. Okay, now I need to look. Over here is the same, pretty much the same value. It's really bright all the way around. And I probably have to change some of my all right, at least we can start to see what these things are. I want to take some cerulean blue and need to look at kind of because I need to put a definite glow on the bottom of this and the top of this. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. And there we go. Sorta. It's a working, sorta. Gotta give the effect or the effect that it's 3D. Impression is the word I'm looking for. There we go. Let's do this too. All right. I have not stepped back for a while and taken a photo, but I like these pears. I like the pears. Now we just need to work on this bowl again. All right. So let's go back. And what do you all think? It's kind of an interesting experiment, isn't it? Now, I'm not as pleased with the red, orange, maybe it's just because it's harder. What if we do orange, yellow, and bright yellow? So orange, cad yellow, and bright yellow instead of multiple colors, because I think that's just, it's really tough to get correct. So if we do, and it's also very similar to what we have. So let's do orange. Or maybe it's red, orange, and yellow. Maybe we do keep the red in there. Yes, maybe we do that. I think that's it. We do the red, orange, and yellow, and not the bright yellow. I think we do red, orange. Let's not until the end. Let's go to the red again. Okay. We're going to do our, again, our darkest bits of this. So we're going to do kind of carving out the all right, I think if we do this correctly, it will work out. So do there. This is really bright orange, so that needs to be all right. Then this orange needs to really stand out on in each case. All right, I think that's working. Then the yellow becomes the it's too much. The yellow becomes the brightest spot. So we use very little of this yellow. See how quickly it takes over. We'll have to tone it down a little bit. Tone it down. Okay. Now you almost see the ridge of the bowl without it even being there, just because of the shadow of the... So let's go in again with the green, because I think we are going to keep the green. And let's re-establish the green as the mid-tone or the glass color of the bowl. So we'll put some of this green over this yellow so that it begins to tell the story of a yes, I love it. It's starting to work. So Okay. Now we want the purple to now I have to be very careful not to go back to painting the colors, because there is this kind of bluish purple in the glass. And I don't want to get too much detail, actually. I want it to figure out a way to, so this is more, so I want to just be careful again that I indicate actual reflection Okay. All right. I think we are getting there, except when I look at the green, I like the green, but now it stands out too much. So I want to emphasize the green in certain spots on this side in the reflection. Because I think it looks cool. But I don't want to distract too much from the I think that works. What do you think? What do you all think? What do you all think? Do we need, I think we need just a little bit more of this color. We just need the suggestion of the fruit in there. Oh, now it looks like a bands, doesn't it? This looks too much, even though it is. All right, maybe I'll just stop and not, let me step back from it a little bit. I think it works. If I don't do too much more on it, like if I don't, I don't want to paint it over too much. I want to do another coat of the background. So let me do that, and then we'll put in final highlights, and I think we'll call this one done. So what do you guys think so far? It's kind of bizarre and kind of cool, and it kind of works, and it's kind of like, what? So let us take ultramarine blue and white and brown raw umber. We'll just give ourselves that dark background that is nondescript, kind of grayish background. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think, pretty dark down here. That way we cover all those grid lines. And we'll make it a little more light as we go towards the subject. That way it's I think it needs to be darker in this corner to indicate the light is moving. So it's darker over on this side. Indicate the light is coming over here, which we know. And we'll take above the, go real dark up here too. We'll bring it a little lighter as we come down. Then eventually we'll Oh no, I got some of that pink, so we'll have to paint that out. Steve, be careful. Getting a little too crazy. All right, y'all, I think it's working. Let me turn this off so you can kind of see more. Whoops. See more. Let me turn this. All right. You can see a little bit better. we get the glare from there, both lights. But let's see. I have pretty much painted this entire, not pretty much, I have painted this entire painting with this brush. So now that I have this, let me go in, do the bright, reestablish my, oh, stepped on my microphone. Just so it not okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. See if I can. Give it a little bit more. Line. I do think we need kind of a purplish green to do a very definitive line there, because we need I think we're getting there. What do y'all think? I think we need A little more green. Whoops. Mixed with a little more this. Thanks. Now, I want to just go back and take a little bit of the pink and do where the Okay, I need to quit overpainting this. Let it be. All right. Now I want to take the turquoise. We're almost at the end of our time, so just these last few bits of highlight. All right. I think we're done for now. We've done what we can do. It's think I'd love to blend that pink out a little bit, but I think it's just gonna ruin it. Pink is too heavy. Okay, stop. Plus we're out of time completely. So that is where we are right now. I'm not totally happy with this part, so I may come and blend that out. But for the exercise that I was trying to do, pushing myself to look at something differently, I think this was a really interesting exercise. I like the way the reflection looks. I'm not sure about this murky color just because it is kind of distracting to me. This pops, and then this looks weird. So, but unless you try something new, you never know how it works, right? So let me do that and do that and bring you back here while I adjust this camera. I just want to say one final thank you and good night before I let you go. So we will get this set up. All right. So what can you expect going into the new year? We are going to continue to do things like this. I'm going to continue to push myself to explore different things creatively, sometimes with color, maybe with medium, maybe with subject matter. It just could be whatever. That's where I'm going to let my creativity really play it. I'm going to be looking around me in my everyday life with intention to kind of explore the things that I can bring together in ways that they wouldn't normally be, like bizarre neon colors and still life fruit. So I'm going to continue to push that. I'm also going to continue to develop not just the creativity, but also the capacity, the capability, my skill sets in the fundamentals of visual arts. So things, like I said, like drawing, line work, perspective, all of those things that are important to art. And that will, I think, give me the boundaries, but also the liberty to explore beyond what is right in front of me as I continue to develop my skills. I did also mention that I am planning to do regular YouTube videos. These will be more, at least right now, what I'm thinking. I'm going to try to do one a week that is more my mindset. Some of these things like the creativity and capability, how that plays together. I want to do some things. Probably the first few videos will be on planning and goal setting and how to set goals as a creative, because that is something I have been working on the last week or two and going into this next week of the new year in my own life. And I think that may be helpful for other people who may be coming across my content as other creative type minds. So if you're interested in that, be sure you're following me here on YouTube. And you can always follow me on Instagram for the progress photos of the paintings that I am painting as I finish them up. I have a whole line of paintings that we've been working on, these live streams that are now laid out in front of me. Next week, I will probably be out of town or back on my way into town for the, what is that, the 1st of January. 2nd of January. So we will probably not have a live stream next week, January 2nd. Be looking for it January, then what would it be, 9th? Monday, January 9th. Yeah, that should be next time I will see you, January 9th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then, thanks so much for joining me. It is great to have you with me, and I hope you have a great week, and please have a safe and Happy New Year, and I'll see you back here January 9th, 2023.